So, ladies and gentlemen, we have yet another scandal that's just hit the London Metropolitan Police. We have this police officer that decided to approach a Jewish man, or as the police officer called him, an openly Jewish man, visibly Jewish. Oh, you look very Jewish. Literally, because he said, because you look openly Jewish, I'm going to arrest you in London because you're at this protest and your presence is threatening. Your presence might make the Islamists and the far left in London upset because you look Jewish. The whole thing is chaotic. By the way, this is the Jewish guy is Gideon Falter, who is in charge of the anti-Semitism campaign organization. Now I have to clarify something. Gideon is the same guy, by the way, who called the police, or his organization, complained to the police about Tommy Robinson attending one of their marches, because he's a liberal Jew, like he's a left-wing, and he told the police Tommy Robinson's presence would be intimidating and alarming. Ironically, well, the tables have turned because the Islamists are now complaining that his Gideon's presence as an openly Jewish man is also alarming. So what comes around goes around, right? Let's go to the video and see what the police officer is actually talking about.
You are quite openly Jewish. This is a pro-Palestinian march. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I'm worried about the reaction to your presence.
For months, we've been told that when anti-Israel protests course through London, it's perfectly safe for Jews. Notwithstanding the anti-Semitic placards, the genocidal slogans, the glorification of Hamas, the Islamist flags, the swastikas, notwithstanding all of that, it's still safe to be openly Jewish on the streets of London during these anti-Israel protests. That's what we're told. And yet, that's not true in practice. I know because on Saturday, I did what I normally do. I went to synagogue, and then afterwards, I met up with some people to just go on a walkabout around London. Just over 6 months ago, there would have been nothing controversial about Jews walking around London on a Saturday. And the only thing that even marked us out as being Jewish was that I was wearing a kippah on my head, and I was carrying a small burgundy bag with Stars of David on, which I put my prayer shawl into after synagogue. And we were not wearing anything like stickers or badges. We didn't have placards or signs. We weren't chanting slogans or engaging with protesters. We weren't part of any kind of protest or counter-protest. We were just walking wherever we wanted to as Jews, as free Londoners, supposedly able to go wherever we wanted to. Except we weren't able to go wherever we wanted to. On Aldwych, we were suddenly pulled aside by a police officer who said that our very presence could antagonize crowds and even lead to us being attacked.
If I could ask you to stay there, please. Thank you very much. I know, I have heard you.
I don't want to stay here, I want to leave.
Well, in that case, sir,
And I'm going that way.
when the crowd is gone, I will happily escort you out.
I'm going to walk. No, I don't think that. There's no reason.
No, sir. I don't want anybody antagonising anything. Yeah, and at the moment, sir, you are quite openly Jewish. This is a pro-Palestinian march. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I'm worried about the reaction to your presence.
I spoke to, or was spoken to, by various different police officers, but I want to be very, very clear. This is not about the individual frontline officers that I spoke to on Saturday. I might disagree with some of their decisions, but these people, these officers, are being put in impossible positions. Week in, week out, they're being asked to police huge protests with very few officers, where there's all sorts of criminality on display, from racism to glorification of terrorism and even violence, some of that violence directed against the officers themselves. And so this is a very difficult situation for them as well. Some of the police officers that I spoke to were very sympathetic towards the situation of Jews in London and Britain right now. And to be honest, I feel very sympathetic towards frontline police officers and the situation that they are facing when they're told to police these marches.
Why is there no crowd of police around here?
No one attacks you or anyone else.
I get that too, but your other here has told me that because I'm Jewish, it's antagonistic to the crowd, it's dangerous.
I'm not saying that.
But he's just said that. I mean, do you have any idea what it's like being a Jew in London at the moment?
No, I have no idea.
Let me tell you, this goes on every Saturday. You probably know it, your colleagues know it. You guys are on the front line. And the route changes every single week. You never have any idea where it's going to be. Because you're Jewish in London, you now have to cross these huge groups of people. It's intimidating enough, and now look at the number of police that are around here. Just look around. I'm just a Jew in London trying to cross the road. I've been told by the Met that these are completely safe for Jews, so I should have nothing to worry about. And yet here I find myself in this bubble. This guy has just been shouting at me and shoving me because I want to cross the road.
Because these frontline police officers are being put in impossible situations, they're having to make up the Met's policy on the hoof. Whereas Sir Mark Rowley, the Commissioner of the Met, tours news studios and tells us that he is going to, quote, ruthlessly enforce to the letter of the law, the reality is that the Met's real policy is quite different, as I found out on Saturday. What really happens is that if you are Jewish and in the vicinity of a march which you're not part of, then the Met's officers will enact a different policy.
There's a unit of people here now, and you've been escorted out of this area so you can go about your business, go where you like freely, or if you choose to remain here, because you are causing a breach of peace with all these other people, you will be arrested. They will discuss this with me.
If I remain here, you will arrest me.
Because your presence here is antagonising a large group of people and we can't deal with all of them if they attack you or because your presence is antagonising them.
Not everybody on the march had a problem with us, but apparently there were lots of people who clearly did.
Taxi!
Before you get arrested.
Watching your movement. That's right.
This man's saying that he's going to start following me around watching my movement.
That's right. We're all going to watch your movement and record you.
We're here.
Wait. No, the police ain't going to help you in this scenario. They ain't got no law.
The result is that...
What? Did you see? The man, the pro-Palestinian person, whatever he was, literally threatened him. The police officer was standing right there, didn't do anything about it. You see the problem, right? Oh yeah. This is the Metropolitan Police in London under the leadership of Sir Mark Rowley and Saad IQ Khan. We'll come back to you guys with a follow-up on this story because the Metropolitan Police are running away.